Hi, my name's McKenna, and I have not posted on YouTube for a very, very long time, a few years, and I want to change that. One, because I'm soon to be a therapist. I just got my credentials as an associate marriage and family therapist, and I love talking about all things mental health. I also got diagnosed with Lyme disease 3 months ago, and I want to start sharing my journey with Lyme disease and mental health. I got diagnosed with Lyme disease and co-infections 3 months ago, and about 2.5 months ago, I wrote a post on Facebook, actually a Facebook group, describing my experience and how I was feeling to other people that are suffering from Lyme disease. And now I want to share it with everyone and bring awareness to Lyme disease and mental health issues as a whole. I got diagnosed with Lyme, Bartonella, and Erchricilosis a few weeks ago, but I believe I've had Lyme for 10 to 15 years undiagnosed. For the past 15 years, from the age of 15 until now, which I just turned 30 last month, I have been told relentlessly by family, friends, therapists, psychologists that I have suffered from mental health issues. I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, ADHD. I was misdiagnosed as bipolar type 2 in my early 20s, and I've been told that I also have CPTSD. After years of struggling with suicidal ideation, constant, relentless depression, 5 years ago, I experienced active suicidality for the first time in my life, and mood swings, etc., a lot of mood instability for the last 10 years. I now learn that I have Lyme with co-infections. For a little bit after learning I had Bartonella, I felt a relief that maybe this whole time that I was being told I was mentally ill, that it was indeed just Bartonella, and now there was a clear path towards relief from chronic depression. I was hoping, thinking this realization of knowing I have Lyme with co-infections, with these significant psychiatric symptoms, would have given me a ton of hope and faith in the future. But honestly, I'm really, really struggling to accept or think that by treating the Lyme and co-infections, that my mental health symptoms I have had for over 10 years are going to significantly improve. My Lyme literate doctor told me today she strongly believes that the mental health symptoms, especially depression, irritability, mood swings, will improve by 50 to 80% by treating the Lyme and co-infections. Immediately after getting the diagnosis, I felt some relief that my entire identity of being mentally ill was shattered in a moment, finding out this diagnosis and finding out that for an unknown period of time, I have 3 strains of Lyme disease in my body. But now, 3 weeks later, I'm struggling to have faith or honestly believe that somehow the depression is going to be drastically lifted. My logical mind understands that Bartonella causes significant psychiatric symptoms, and by addressing that, of course, I will have some improvement, but I'm realizing how much of depression and mood instability has so deeply and profoundly impacted my own identity and self-worth. It's really hard to go from years of people telling you that you're mentally ill to one afternoon being told that you have Lyme and Bartonella. I just can't emotionally accept that by treating the Lyme, that who I've always known as myself to be for the past 15 years is going to be completely different. I got emotional today telling my mom that next month I'll be 30, and I don't even know who I really am because I feel that chronic depression and undiagnosed Lyme have taken away a huge part of my adulthood and identity for so many years. I feel like some of my most formative years from ages 15 to 30 have been shaped by chronic depression and mood instability. It's cost me jobs, relationships. I feel behind in my life and where I feel like I should be, because while my peers were progressing in their careers, making friends, having partners, I've been battling chronic mental health issues and unknowingly undiagnosed Lyme disease. I don't have really any hope or positivity for the future. It has been such a struggle for me for such a long time. I am so tired. I feel so beaten down. The last 5 years have been very difficult for me for many reasons. And now to find out I have chronic Lyme, I'm having the most difficult time envisioning a happy future for myself. So I wrote that 2 months ago, and now I'm gonna read a little bit more of an update of what's happening right now in my life, and I'm gonna continue reading because I find it so hard to naturally talk to a camera. So, I wrote this post at the end of January, and I'm feeling better now, emotionally and physically, mostly because I've been taking doxycycline for over 2 months. I also will be going to Clinicum St. George in Germany for intensive treatment tomorrow for 2 whole weeks. I would have no idea that I have Lyme disease if it wasn't for me experiencing significant, severe fatigue and being bedridden last fall. I know a lot of people experience significant pain and serious neurological symptoms. I am fortunate enough to not have experienced any of that. My only physical symptom has mostly been severe fatigue and worsening of ADHD symptoms. I feel like my ADHD has significantly gotten worse and worse over the years and has not gotten better or stayed the same. I have been in therapy off and on for 15 years, and not one therapist, psychologist, or mental health professional ever thought about the possibility of Lyme disease creating psychiatric symptoms, which I find astounding considering I grew up in Connecticut and have spent the vast majority of my life in Connecticut and New York, and Lyme disease is becoming more and more prominent and widespread. Not one therapist ever brought up Lyme disease as a possibility that could be creating significant psychiatric symptoms. I just graduated with my master's in clinical psychology, marriage and family therapy a few months ago, and Lyme disease or co-infections was never discussed as a physical illness that creates such clear symptoms mimicking mental illness. It wasn't discussed in personal therapy, my master's or bachelor's programs where I studied psychology in each. Now, sitting here at 30, looking back at the last 15 years of my life, I wonder how much my life has been me unknowingly having Lyme and how much of an impact Lyme has had on my life in my 20s. I would like this video to bring more awareness of how Lyme disease and mental illness are very much related. I am leaving for Germany tomorrow to get hypothermia treatment for 2 weeks, and I'm hoping to film as much as I can while I'm there. If you are interested in hearing about Clinicum St. George in Germany for intensive Lyme treatment, or you're interested in Lyme disease relating to mental illness, I'd love if you would consider following my channel and continuing on this journey with me through Lyme disease.